Let's go! Sorry, this episode just did a really good job at hyping me up. Alright, so The Mandalorian Season 3 Episode 5 has dropped on Disney+. So now I talk about it with spoilers. That is a spoiler warning. If you have not yet watched this episode and you plan on it, you probably shouldn't watch this video, because I will be talking about what happens in this episode in detail. Okay, that's your warning. You've been warned. Let's dive in. So this episode starts off on Navarro. Navarro is attacked by those pirates, the pirates that we remember from the first episode of this season, who are led by Gory and Swamp Thing. Yeah, I didn't talk too much about them in my video on the first episode, because I did think they were just whatever villains, and they still are whatever antagonists. Now that they're down and out, I know that they were put there just to be a plot device for the Mandalorians, but I'll get to that. I do love the fact, though, that Greef Karga is such a good guy. He just wants to do right by his people. He's a pretty good leader. Plus, Carl Weathers is just a badass. I just watched Rocky 2 for the first time the other night. Dude, he was a douche in that movie. But alright, back to point. Greef Karga sends a message out to Carson Teva in the New Republic. Always great to see that guy again. We've known him since season 1. And so he's like, alright, I'm gonna go try to get help. And then the cameo of all cameos, yeah, you know I'm gonna talk about this. This Lasat shows up, and it's funny. At first, I was like, hey, that's cool, our first live-action Lasat. We've seen Lasats a couple of times before. You know, in Star Wars Rebels, Zeb was one of the main characters. And also in Jedi Fallen Order, yeah, Jaro Tapal, Cal's old mentor, he was a Lasat. But my thought process while watching this, I was like, hey, cool, that's a Lasat. And it wasn't until that scene was done when it finally dawned on me, I was like, wait, was that Zeb? He did have the same kind of voice, he spoke with the same accent. I think that was Zeb. Sure enough, in the credits, we do see Zeb, and he's voiced by Steve Blum, who voiced him in Rebels. I was like, shit, that's awesome. I had no idea that was coming, seeing Zeb in live action. Yet another thing that's gonna get me super hyped for Ahsoka. Yeah, call me a broken record, don't give a shit. I will continue to voice my hype for Ahsoka. Since we already know that Sabine's gonna be in that show, along with Hera, Chopper, it's pretty much going to be the follow-up to Star Wars Rebels. If you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels yet, watch it, because it's really good. I just love seeing Zeb in live action. That was awesome. The CG could have been a little cleaned up, I will say that, but that's just a nitpick. So Teva goes to Coruscant to try to get help, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna help because for some reason they're gonna be douchey about it. That's just how these things go. Sure enough, that one guy's like, heh, no.
Prick.
I'll say you do gotta admire Teva's persistence. He's like, alright, the New Republic's not gonna help, then I'll search elsewhere. Navarro needs aid, damn it! And so he goes to the Mandalorian covert. And at first I was like, okay, how did he know where they were? That's kind of a plot hole. But upon second watch, I did pick up the fact that he got a signal from R5 because I guess R5 really did serve in the rebellion at one point or another. So alright, good, they did give an explanation. And so once again, Teva relays the message. Hey, yeah, Din Djarin, your friend is in danger, he needs your help. And yeah, of course I noticed when he left. That Resistance theme comes back once again. I love musical cameos. And so I really like the scene where Din is pitching his rescue mission to the crew. When he's talking to all of them, I was like, look at our boy taking charge. But also, I love what he pitches here. It's not just for Navarro. No, it's also for the Mandalorians. We remember in season 1, they did live on that planet. So Din says, we can go back there. Yeah, we did fight them once. But now we can save them. We can be heroes. We can relocate there. We'll have their support. And we can flourish as a culture once more. I was like, yeah, that works out pretty well in my eyes. Pretty hard to find a downside. And then Paz Vizsla steps up, and I was like, oh no, what does this asshole have to say now? Because he usually is known as, like, an asshole. I guess I'd forgotten the good deed we did for him last week. Because when he steps up, he's like, alright, so why are we doing this? Why should we risk our lives yet again? Because we are Mandalorians! This man saved my son last week, so I will gladly fight by his side. I was like, oh shit, let's go! This is the way, motherfuckers! We're gonna do this. I love it. I just love the energy that scene builds up. Because it's Paz Vizsla, and he's a powerful dude. In size, strength, and vocality. He kinda reminds me of Kerchak from Tarzan. He's just a big, powerful guy that you'd rather have on your side. And so they all go down to Navarro, and the plan pretty much goes off without a hitch. Yeah, everyone is liberated. The big pirate ship goes down in this huge explosion. That was pretty cool to see. Was that practical? And in return, Greef Karga delivers. He's like, yep, alright, we thank you, our liberators. You now have full rights to this land. You can flourish once again. You may not have a home planet, but now you have a home. Awesome. Then we have another scene between Bo-Katan and the Armorer. Basically, the Armorer has decided that it is time to retake Mandalore once and for all. And she's got a plan. We're gonna send Bo-Katan with her helmet off to go find the rest of the Mandalorians out there, the ones who do not walk the way, the ones who we remember Bo-Katan said, I think it was in the second episode, are just mercenaries out there in the galaxy now. Yeah, she's gonna go find them, recruit them, and now we are gonna take back Mandalore. This is the point of the season right here. Oh, okay. Badass. And now we have the support of Navarro. That's no bad thing. I think we're in business. The episode ends with this little stinger. It's Carson Teva, he's out in space, and he finds this busted Imperial shuttle. We find out that this was Moff Gideon's prison transport, and yeah, he was extracted. He didn't make it to trial. So Moff Gideon is out there somewhere. Maybe we'll see him in the finale. But in the wreckage, we find some Beskar alloy. And they're like, okay, do you mean to tell us that Moff Gideon was extracted by Mandalorians? And I was like, oh no. What, now are the Mandalorians gonna be framed for Moff Gideon's extraction? That's not good. Is the New Republic gonna come after them now? Yikes. But in the end, this episode of The Mandalorian Season 3, I really liked it. It's funny, I've been hearing some people saying that they don't like this season so much. Which, alright, to each their own. But I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, I'll say I am enjoying it about as much as I enjoyed Season 2. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going. So The Mandalorian Chapter 21, The Pirate. Have you watched it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And what's your opinion on this season as a whole so far? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I actually am in the middle of my second playthrough of Jedi Fallen Order. This time on PS5. Hey, gotta prep for Survivor. Peace!